So I'm going to be doing the video review for the Sprint 3 review. And just a real quick pickup, we've been talking about the Christmas ward Christmas party that we're planning. So we'll start out with the review of the daily Scrum meeting notes. So we went over what each person would need to complete within the for their task for the Sprint Review 3 assignment. Jordan completed the Nokia test, which we all reviewed over, and then Kara was in charge of the retrospective and the review, user stories, and I was in charge of the daily Scrum notes, the video that I'm currently doing, and then the Scrum status update. After we went over what each person needed to complete for their task, we talked about the Christmas party, and we focused on the activities that we wanted at the party, how many people we would need for each activity, which was important, so then we could move on to know how many volunteers we needed to get for that particular party. Just a real quick run through of the Nokia test. It goes through a few different questions that we ask. So it's first, are you doing iterative development? And it says, yes, our iterations are time boxed to 1 week. Let's see, it says the iteration must start before specifications completed. Sometimes, but most, but not all requirements are stated before any work begins. And then the next part of the test checks whether you're doing Scrum. This is in Nokia's opinion. So who would be the product owner? And in this case, for our project, it would be the bishop or the ward as a whole. And is there a product backlog prioritized by business value? Yes. The product backlog has estimates created by the team. Yes, we've been going over those estimates in our budget. The team generates burn down charts and knows their velocity, and that is what we went over last week. So yes, we do have that burn down chart done. And there are no project managers or anyone else disrupting the work of the team, and that has not been the case. So we went through all of those questions. And then for the Sprint retrospective, we went over first our user stories that before this meeting we weren't quite sure what we wanted activity-wise, if we wanted a game or specific activities, and we were able to, after the meeting, figure that out and decide this, which is important to be able to figure out what activities we want, what supplies we'll need for those activities, and then what people we need for volunteers for those activities if we want at the ward party. To go over our product backlog, again, we didn't really know kind of where we standed on the activities, and we were able to make a list of all those things after this meeting, which was really important for being able to purchase the items that are needed for those activities. And again, which leads right into the lessons learned. One of the most important things is being able to know just the volume of people that we're going to need for each activity. So that way we can start asking for volunteers ahead of time and not run into the problem of planning how many people we're going to need too soon to the party and not being able to acquire those volunteers that we need. So that was the big thing that we learned. So that catches you up to speed on our Sprint 3 review. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments.